Well, there it is. Brian Daboll was just fired, and I don't think that comes as a surprise to many of us. Daboll was really sitting on the hot seat after that collapse in Denver, and the final straw for John Mara and company was yet another fourth quarter blown lead to the Bears in Chicago this past Sunday. Here's how I feel about the whole situation. Did Daboll do anything to save his job? Absolutely not. Did Daboll deserve to get fired? Absolutely. Do the Giants' failures entirely fall on Daboll? No, I don't think they do. The blown leads, the lack of offensive production inside the red zone, the chemistry and emotion inside of the locker room, designed runs for Dart, and him getting hurt twice this season, that all falls on Daboll without a doubt. But now that Daboll is fired, why is Shane Bowen still employed? Here we have this almighty pass rush on paper, and we literally never see it. It's never there. It's crazy to me that these blown leads in the fourth quarter, where you are giving up 1,000,000 points and you can't stop a nosebleed, don't result in the defensive coordinator being fired. You lose a fourth quarter lead to the Saints. You lose a fourth quarter lead to the Broncos, where you gave up 50 million points in one quarter. You lose a lead against the Cowboys, where you had the lead the whole game. You lose a fourth quarter lead to the Bears in Chicago on Sunday. And it's only week 11. How is it that you can't win one of those games? How is it that you have all of these stars all over the D-line, yet you can't pressure the quarterback when you absolutely need to? You need to pressure the quarterback, especially in the fourth quarter when you're trying to not blow the game. The Giants need a complete culture change inside the organization. It starts with firing your OC, your DC, and your head coach. The fact that Joe Shane still has a job is also laughable. This roster is constructed terribly on the offensive side, and the trade deadline really showed how unserious he is. Not one weapon added for your star quarterback. He is completely content with Darius Slayton. Did you guys see the clip of him saying that they wanted to actually trade up to get Jalen Hyatt? The guy has 5 catches through the whole season. He's got 5 catches or some shit like that. In year 3, listen, I get it. At this point in the season, you might as well keep your offensive coordinator and your defensive coordinator because the playoffs are so far out of reach anyway at this point. But not firing the GM along with the head coach is part of the problem here. Firing Daboll will hopefully light a fire up the players and the coach's ass. You want to end the season on a positive note going into next year. This Giants team could easily have 6 wins right now and be in that playoff picture. Instead, they sit at 2-8 yet again, and it's completely unacceptable at this point. Not to bring up the past, but how can a franchise go from beating the GOAT 2 times in the Super Bowl to this pathetic mess that we are watching? This has been a 15-year rebuild, and right now they just finished making the blueprint for the house. That's where it feels like they are right now in this rebuild process. It's like if you bought a piece of property, right, and you hired someone to build you said house, and 15 years later, all they did was cut down a couple of trees and put up a no trespassing sign. That's what it feels like. That's where it feels like we are in the process right now in this rebuild. Because in year 15, you're still 2-8. Going back to Daboll, there's not much else to say about him other than you had your ups and downs here in New York, mostly downs, but a few ups, I guess. Ultimately, you were a failure with a record of 20-40 and 1 playoff appearance and did absolutely nothing to save your job other than get up to the mic at a press conference and say 6-7. And no, I'm not kidding, that actually happened.
Yeah, you got to ask him about what mid means. 6-7.
I am interested to see how Dart progresses through all of this. The one thing that I'll give Daboll was that he was brought here as a quarterback guru coach, and he did want Dart. That was his guy. He was happy to have him. So ultimately, I think Dart's talent will prevail over any sort of obstacle that is in the way. The kid looks like an absolute stud. Other than that, what more is there to say? All we can hope for is that the Giants put the past behind them and end the season on a positive note with an interim head coach. Sometimes that gives you some life, and see where the offseason takes them. That's pretty much all the Giants could do at this point in time. Short little rant today, but just had to get that off the chest for all New Yorkers everywhere because we are watching a clown show in action every single Sunday. We'll talk about the Jets too in the next video because they're another clown show of an organization winning meaningless games now when it doesn't matter. Thank you guys so much for almost 1,000 views on the last video. That's unbelievable. I can't believe that we almost hit 1,000 views and probably will this week soon. So if you really are liking this style of video, please let me know in the comments below. Give it a thumbs up, hit the share button, subscribe, check out the TikTok, all the other plugins, as everyone usually does. I'm very new to all this. I don't like plugging myself, but I guess I have to. With that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.